All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is basically what I used to do almost every day on my Twitch stream, play some games and then do the snake stuff. And I wanted to move the snake stuff over to the Epic Loot Exotics channel. So, hooray. Yeah, I don't have any other big intro other than that. But, yeah, this was the layout for Streamlabs that I thought worked best with what we've actually got. And so now I'm going to make me all smallified. And without getting into detail on the various problems that are associated with buying snakes and reptiles from Craigslist, yeah, you get what you pay for. And you're going to find things priced ridiculously low, ridiculously high. There's going to be, items in enclosures that I can mock and make fun of, which mock and make fun of is actually the same thing. But you can also find listings from reputable dealers that will post their stuff on everywhere. They'll post it on MorphMarket, they'll post it on Craigslist. And so part of it is me searching to see what's available, what the market's like. I'm not actually planning to buy anything. There is a reptile show this weekend. I will be missing it on Saturday because I'm going to Dallas to do a debate. But Arden will be going, and then on Sunday, if there's stuff there that we need, that we want to get together, we'll go to the reptile show that on Sunday instead of Saturday. I got stuff over here to the side of my desk that's in the way. All right. So because of that, I'm not in the market to actually buy anything, but I'm always looking for deals, both on snakes and on things that we need. And so typically I start with Craigslist, and I have a number of default searches that I'll do: reptile, python, exotic, snake, hognose, boa. I don't think I did. Oh, no, I did do boa today. And I go through all those, and then every one that I find, I load up new tabs. So we've got a bunch of tabs here with snakes and supplies, and let's just see what we've got. So we've got 20-gallon tank / hognose accessories. And it looks like this is $250 and includes a male Western hognose. Unsure of age. Weird that it says 40-gallon aquarium tank with screen top, and up here it says 20-gallon tank. So they have a Western hognose. They don't know its age. And they don't even know the size of the enclosure. Let's see if we can get a better picture of this. It says March. This thing is reversed, and it says March 20. Bedding changed March 25th. Okay. And then Hoggy. And there's a little picture of him coming up through the aspen snake bedding. And then a better picture of him in somebody's hand. He looks great. I don't need boy hognosis right now. And yeah, he's definitely adult. I like that they got a picture showing some of the belly markings. None of the ones we have are this big, neither the males nor the females. But I think we need females more, and an unknown snake with it's just normal looking Western hognose. Not for me. And where is this? Okay, it's outside of San Antonio, so it's like 2 hours and some change away anyway. So we'll pass on digging in on that. This one is ball pythons and boas for sale in Uvalde, which is now famous for that shooting. But that's going to be several hours. That's going to be 3 hours, 3.5 hours away. So let's see what they've got. They've got a banana female proven breeder, a banana pinstripe male, a piebald young female, and a boa. All right. So that'll be the banana female. there's two snakes and a boa. And somebody whose face they scribbled out. So that's the banana pen. I don't know what the other one is. Piebald young female. Is that supposedly the piebald? That looks like a banana pinstripe. Maybe this is the piebald and it's just really low white expression. I don't know. There's no prices, no information. I'm not opposed to a female proven breeder banana. I just don't need one right now. So I'm just kind of doing the shopping on this stream, but I will take and answer questions. Upcoming streams that I'm planning on doing as we get time. Some of them are going to be going through Husbandry Pro. I might do that a little bit later today, and updating information about our collection and our breeders. And then also I'm going to start doing some on snake genetics, kind of talking about the basics, dominant, incomplete, dominant, co-dominant, recessive, and then basically acts like super, or basically allelic combinations, and going through the complexes that are with that. But for today, we're shopping because I'm sleepy. It's a good time to shop when you're sleepy. All right, butter cinnamon ball python, 1-year-old male, $300. He's at breeding age. Don't try to undersell me. No trades. I've been burned too many times by people giving me sick animals without letting me know ahead of time. Okay, so he's a year old. He is breeder ready. Probably. Butter, cinnamon, really pretty. Yeah, really pretty. Problem is, I'm pretty sure that snake is not worth $300. And for that, I'm going to come over here to MorphMarket. And if we do genes and traits, let's do butter, cinnamon, and we do a male. Whoops. Yeah, you can get a butter inchy cinnamon, yellow belly, that's 66% chance of being het clown for $200. So you can get the butter and cinnamon genes, along with two other genes, inchy and yellow belly, and a chance of being het clown for $200. Now, if we clear out the maturity and we sort this by lowest price, you can get a butter cinnamon granite male for $75. So this male was born in September. He's only 200 grams, so he's not up to breeding size yet. But if we were, let me do maturity to maybe subadult, or adult and subadult. All right. Now I guess we're not finding what we're looking for. Butter, inchy cinnamon. Well, here's a banana cinnamon butter from 2020, so that's an extra gene for $375. Yeah, here's a 2021 male that's going to be cinnamon butter pastel for $250. So this unknown Craigslist animal, really nice. I want to maybe if it comes with everything, maybe if it comes with the enclosure and stuff, that could probably be worth $300. But on its own, I don't think so. And I have zero need for a butter cinnamon male right now. I guess what I can do is have Husbandry Pro pulled up, so that if we need to, I can run through the Snakes in Air collection. So here's a regular albino ball python, a young albino. I was told it's female, but I don't know for sure. She'll come with a small tank. She's about 6 months old. I've only had her a few weeks. She's fairly tame when handled. She has struck at me once when startled, and my kids just aren't fans. Wild. It's unfortunate. I mean, I appreciate the fact that some people will, try out a reptile, but like, if it's struck, it's probably still a baby. It looks, just looking at the proportions of the size, this is not a big snake. Yeah, that's a fairly small snake. But an albino female, once again, let's go back over here and we'll clear. We'll just do albino because there's no other gene there. And we'll do a female. Whoops. $150. Just albino, nothing else. $150, $175 for a baby. He wants $300. Now, I don't know if there's other genes going on because this guy doesn't seem to know too much about the snake that he's got. I don't see anything that would lead me to believe it's anything more than just a regular albino. But you could buy this for $300 in Bastrop, or you could go on to MorphMarket and for $300 you get a black pastel pinstripe albino. Yeah, this is less. Now I'm looking at this as a breeder. If you like any snake, then it's worth whatever you like out of it. But I just know that for $300, you can get a lot more than just a regular albino breeder. We're still page 2. We're not even up over 250. So, and I could set this so that 300 is the top. But let's look and see what we got. So for $300, pastel albino het pied, which would be huge as a potential. Albino pinstripe, which I love. I've got an albino pinstripe in the other room. Black pastel albino. I've got a black pastel albino in the other room as well. I mean, this is just gorgeous how black pastel kind of darkens and crisps up the side here. My black pastel albino is a male. But albino pinstripe, yeah, they're so good. Our albino pinstripe is gorgeous. Oh, there's albino genetic stripe for $290. That's pretty. That's a double recessive. That is a double recessive snake for $290. That's nuts. I don't have a need for it, and you'd have to wait 2.5, 3 years for it to grow up to be breeding weight and size. But yeah, a Craigslist listing, you can get this albino, which is beautiful. I like the way it's a little faded, but or you could come over and get an albino genetic stripe, a double recessive female for $290. That seems like an insanely good deal to me. Albino spider, albino calico. I love calico. Inchy albino is great. That would be amazing. Inchy's going to add some orange to it and mess up the pattern a little bit. Look at that. Get these great little orange outlines. That for me. I think I'd probably get the albino genetic stripe one. If I was going to pick one of the low end albinos here, I think I'd get this genetic stripe. But Inchy albino is great. There's another, you can get albino Inchy free shipping. So it's $250 shipped for this albino Inchy baby. And it's a girl. Now, you're going to have to spend a lot of time raising her up if you were breeding her. But that's a really good deal right there. The shipping normally list is $85. And considering you're going to pay probably $50 to $100 shipping because you got overnight, it's a reptile and everything else. This is insanely good. I'm stunned by the free shipping albino. There's another albino pinstripe there. Lots and lots of options. Candino albino. I know, you should say Candino albino, but albino always sounds weird to me. I know that my friends in Africa and Europe and other places will say albino instead of albino, but they're just wrong. All right, so we don't need that albino pinstripe either. Here's a baby red coastal carpet python. Currently have a male small carpet python, red coastal. I'm asking a small rehome fee for him. I have an enclosure for him, but it'll be extra. Text me. No, I don't deliver, I don't ship, and I won't take less, and no codes. Well, they haven't said what the small rehoming fee is. That one is only about an hour and 15 minutes away, hour and 20 minutes away. So let's take a look. It's a baby, and it's very nice. The only carpet python I really want right now is a Darwin, and preferably an albino. But might consider trades. Small rehoming fee. Yeah, I wish you'd list the fee so I don't have to contact and say, how much do you want for it? There's a 5-month-old banana ball python for $350. Well, it's 5-month-old here. It says we're selling our 6-month-old yellow and pink banana ball python. He's a boy. He's very laid back and sweet, people friendly as well, and handling friendly. He's healthy and just a beautiful baby. I love him so much, but I have to rehome him to my apartment. He comes with a 40-gallon tank, light water, boils, vines, and spray bottle. So this is nothing but a baby banana, and its enclosure. So looking at him, he's incredibly tiny for a 6-month-old. And I don't know why we have 2 water bottles and some weird aspen chip. This is another one of the ones where the pictures make me want to go rescue the snake. Happy George Takei's birthday. I didn't know I was supposed to celebrate that. So we'll just go ahead and do this. We're going to switch to male, and we're going to switch to banana, and I'm going to bet there's male bananas for about $100. Yeah. A banana super mystic for $100, a banana het genetic stripe for $100, $125. There may not be any just bananas on here. Okay, the lowest priced just banana male is $150. And so this person has a 5-month-old. They want $350. It comes with a 40-gallon tank. Yeah, so that tank that he's in is $20 used. It says light water bowls, vines, and a spray bottle. So I guess they're just using a basking lamp or 420. Yeah, I'm good with the 420. I guess they're just using just a basking lamp, and I don't see anything at all about a thermostat. There's no hide in this enclosure. Like, I want to go rescue this snake, but there's no way in hell I'm paying somebody $350 for a $150 snake, some supplies I don't need. This just needs to be a rescue. They're way north of Houston. This is, there's a lot of discussions about how best to keep reptiles, and different snakes are going to be different. And there's people who are concerned about breeders keeping them in rack systems and things like that. Those are all discussions. But if you're going to buy a pet, I really wish people would do just a smidgen more research to say, oh, here's exactly what my ball python needs. Hey, Gigi. Because the setup isn't the worst. It's pretty normal, but it's not what the snake needs. That snake needs, you need heating, and you need a thermostat to control that heat so that you don't overheat or anything else. And you need a warm side and a cold side to the tank. You need a hide. I'm not going to get into, I don't like aspen substrate or whatever else. There's a variety of substrates, and that's not what today's about anyway. But here you got somebody who just bought a ball python a couple months ago, hasn't properly kept it, and now is giving up and wants to get every penny that they spent back. They probably paid $200 to $250 for the snake at a local reptile convention, and then $100 on the enclosure and everything else. And they figure, you've got $350 spent on this, so I'll just post it on Craigslist for that. This snake will sit there and not, like, I wouldn't, for the snake and the enclosure, I wouldn't give her $100 right now, or him, or them. But you're an ethical person, you'll find a way if there's one. I hope so. All right, so this one's Python, $1 and Brian. Now, Brian is still going to be a couple hours away from me, so. But this is a Burm, and just Burmese Python, spicy attitude. I cannot care for it anymore, and it says $1. Now, that's an albino Burmese. I love Burms, and I love albino Burms. I don't have the space for one right now. But if I lived in Bryan, I'd rescue this for $1 for sure. I tend to think that when somebody lists a price in there for $1, that they're not actually asking $1. They've got some other price in mind they don't want to list. And so what we got, it looks generally okay. There's shed right there, which I think this is probably fresh after a shed, and it looks like the shed may have come off in one piece, which is great, because that's increasingly rare to see. Even some of our snakes, when we're monitoring temperature and humidity and everything else, will occasionally have rough sheds. It's just automatic that it's going to happen. But I don't need that right now. Is repeatability the main factor for gene morphs? Like, where's the line between a fluke cool attribute and where we name a change in chasm mark? Yes. So genetic traits, there's the genotype, which is whatever is in the genes, and then there's the phenotype, which is whatever you see visually is. So it's phenotype is how the genotype is presented visually. Well, identifiable characteristics. And so if you come across a snake and it has something different about its pattern or color, and you think maybe this is genetically identifiable and reproducible, that's what you're going for. And so you'll breed that snake and see if any of its offspring have the same trait. And if they do, then you may have found something that's genetic, so then you have to reproduce that out. It is a many years long process to fully prove out an identifiable genetic morph, even if it's just an incomplete dominant. If it's a recessive trait, and I wasn't going to get into the genetics lecture here, but basically a dominant, incomplete dominant traits, only one parent needs to carry that gene in order for the children to phenotypically express it. In a recessive trait, both parents need to possess that gene in order for the offspring to phenotypically express it. So you have to have two copies for the recessive. So albino is a recessive trait, which means if you have a visual albino python and a visual albino python, when they mate, all of the offspring, unless there's a paradox, but all of the offspring will be visual albinos. If you have a visual albino and a snake that does not carry any genes for albino, none of the offspring will be visually albino, but all of them will have a 50% chance of being heterozygous for albinism, or basically they'll all have a 50% chance of carrying the albino gene. And so if you have two normal snakes that both carry an albino gene, this one looks normal, this one looks normal, they carry the albino gene. When they reproduce, each of the offspring will have a 25% chance of being a visual albino, because they have to get the gene from both parents. And there's only 4 combinations. You either get 2 no albinos, or 2 genes that aren't albino, 1 that is and 1 that isn't, in which case you're now het for albino, or you get 2 albino genes, and so it's 1 in 4. It's no genes, left gene, left and right gene. So that's how that goes. But it takes years to prove some of these things out, and then when you start getting them, it's to work towards 2, 3, or 4 recessive traits. The math just gets nuts. We're approaching probably the upper limits of what people can reasonably do at 4 genes. To have a 5 recessive gene snake, I haven't done the math and won't pretend to be good at it. Yeah, who knows when or if that's ever going to happen. That said, there are a lot more people breeding and working on stuff. And once you get a 4 gene banger, you can combine it with a 5th gene. And then you may only have like a 6 or 8 year before you have a chance at the astronomical odds. All right, reptile supplies, $5, no snake. Spring cleaning garage and parting with reptile stuff. I'm spring cleaning my garage, and I'm parting with stuff too. Unfortunately for you, there's nothing in here that I really need. That bark backing, but it's a easy little thermostat. They're about $20 online. Large adult ball pythons priced to move. Well, all right, that's interesting. Where's this at? Check that first. So this is in Katy, basically. All right. What have we got? Large, most ready to breed ball pythons that are priced to move. Some of the ball pythons have a history of respiratory infections. All are healthy now, all except for Pretzel, our breeder size. Will sell as a package deal or individually. All must go. We'll consider offers. Here's the thing I like about this entry. They may be hiding something worse. They may be being honest about respiratory infection problems in order to hide something worse. But they have a history of respiratory infections. That may be something about how this individual is keeping them. That may be these snakes in particular. But I like the fact that they listed that, because most people putting stuff up on Craigslist is just going to be, hey, I've got some breeder snakes, nothing that, and mention nothing else. So we have 5 females and 1 male. I don't care about the male. It's a pastel puma that is named Champagne. I'm going to look at it, but the females are, number 1 is a het red axanthic, possible red axanthic. All of these have history of respiratory infection. She's 1,200 grams, $100. Number 2 is a Mojave female that's breeder ready. 3 is the pastel puma called Champagne. That's the one that's in the picture we can see already. Number 4 is a yellow belly called Bailey. And number 5 is a normal that's possible het pied Medusa. All of these snakes are dirt cheap. They really are priced to move, because given the size of these breeder females, a normal breeder female, $150, that's not unheard of, but generally you'd have a couple $100 on a normal, especially if it was possibly het pied. A yellow belly that's ready to breed with no other genes, I'm going to say at this point in the market, probably $200, $250. And so 150 is a good deal there. The Mojave at 2,400 grams, that's a big girl. Yeah, I'd be interested to know if the RIs were environmental, or if there's something about these snakes. And the fact that all of them had RIs, I suggest it's environmental. It's unheard of to get 4 snakes, unless they all came from the same breeder. But I mean, they're from different pairings, so. Some houses cost $1 and the repairs cost more than I know it. Yeah. Hey, Dargendorp. The SPCA has snakes. All right, so let's take a look at what we got here. This is number 3. So this is the Puma male. And Puma is, if I remember correctly, Yellow Belly Spark. Yeah, Puma is Yellow Belly Spark. They are both in the Super Stripe complex. I'm going to clear all of these. I like Puma. I like Yellow Belly Spark. I would consider that male if I needed a male right now. But let's keep going. This is number 2. So this is the Mojave. Big girl. She's definitely nothing but Mojave. Her coloration is the only thing you're really getting. But definitely Mojave. It's just number 4. That's the normal that's possibly, or no, this is the yellow belly that's het pied. I can see some flaming. I've got a yellow belly downstairs that is a yellow belly female that makes it more obvious. And that's number 5. Hang on, did I get this wrong? Okay, 5 is the normal that's het pied. 4 is the yellow belly. 2 is the Mojave. 1 is the het red axanthic. All right, so there's the puma. That's the Mojave. That's the yellow belly. That's the normal. And that's the het red axanthic, possible red axanthic. I do like the fact that there's like a scream type face right here on this snake. That's the stuff you can't really plan for. I like the look of this. I like the slightly different keyholes in the alien heads. She's she's underweight. She's not ready to breed, but she'd get up to weight before I could actually breed her anyway. I don't have a need for any of them, but if you're willing to take in some slightly risky snakes, I don't have a problem with any of the prices on any of these. This looks like somebody who bought a 5-tub breeder rack and filled it with a male and 4 females and was going to breed and gave up. What would you get out of breeding these? Well, with a pastel puma, so that male is yellow belly, spark, and pastel. And so when you breed it to the yellow belly, you can get essentially super yellow belly, pastel, or more pumas if it passes on the spark gene. That all by breeding it to the yellow belly that's Bailey. On the Mojave, yeah, you can. I don't know where something about this breeding plan doesn't make sense to me because I don't know where the het red axanthic comes in, and it's a mistake to assume that I know what this person's plan was or that these are the only snakes they had or whatever else. It's weird though that this person doesn't also list a rack. They've clearly got these in tubs. But yeah, I don't need any of them, but if we were still building up the collection and we were very early in building up the collection, I'd consider buying these. There you go. There's a 3-tier rack system in College Station for $250 cash and pickup. No thanks. Maybe kept the equipment and changed species. Could be. And that's it for the Craigslist snakes right now. All right. So next step in the stream, I'm going to go through some stuff on MorphMarket, specifically looking for some snakes that I'm interested in, and just generally seeing what's on there since I haven't been on in a little while. This is other pythons for sale, and of these, I'm interested in Angolans. I'm always interested in blackheads, but we don't have the cash for that to start breeding those. I'm always interested in pygmies, and I'm not opposed to like several of the others here. I mean, olives and water, definitely womas, but I have 2 womas now, and that's enough for me for now. But I'm going to pull it up and look just in case there are female womas there. And I'm going to stay away from children's and spotteds right now. I will, though, look at specifically carpet pythons, because under the index we should see Darwin's. And boom, there's 12 of those. So that's good. All right, so let's start with the Darwin's carpet python. Pure albino tiger female, albino female. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. So head albino. Not bad. Nothing Nothing leaping out at me. So womas, the only thing I'm really interested in is breeder females. So we're going to go to adult and female. And this is great news, a docile breeder. Gorgeous proven breeder, docile and great size. $2017. All right. There's a couple other females here. I'm not going to be looking at a $2,000 female right now, but this one's called Cream. Great breeder, not big female, but beautiful. Food motivated, definitely would be an animal. More so for breeding than a pet, which means this one's going to be bitey and chewy like the other female that I've got. This female Woma, this girl was just raised as a pet and is a typical Woma, happily eats any rodent offered, does not want to hold still for pictures. All right. But she's 900 grams, and that, I think, is still a little low. Not finding the actual... Let's see. All right. Trying to double check because I suspected that they needed to be closer to 1,500 grams or 1,200 grams Womos for breeding, but I'm not finding my reference material for that one, so we'll just keep going. Would you go in wild places where snakes die to rescue some and take care of them? I'm not sure what you mean by wild places, but I have rescued snakes before, so yeah. I'm not silly enough to put myself at risk. For those other patients for snakes, my queen ant started laying eggs in 2 days, and we'll have about 20 babies in about 2 weeks. Animal husbandry for the AD. Yep. Hi, Matt. Best wishes to you and Arden. Thanks, David. So, yeah, this female here, she's feeding on small rats. This one is definitely a wild card, very psycho woma. Definitely would be an excellent breeder as a pet, not recommended for this specific one. So that's interesting. I don't necessarily need a psycho, but a docile breeder female would be great. I don't have $950 to drop on a snake right now, but yeah, I love Aspidites ramsey. I've got two of them in the other room. One of them is very chewy and the other one's not. Now, here's the interesting thing, because these I want, but they're crazy expensive right now. And this is Antaresia prothensis, which is the dwarf or pygmy python from Perth, Australia. And so they're really cool. They're really small. And right now they're really expensive. It's just hard to get your hands on them at all. Like, here's a pair. They want $1,400 a piece. Here's a proven breeding trio. That's interesting. One male, two females for $2,500, all three. Proven multiple times, last put together and produced in 2021. And that'd be a really good deal. With one exception, and that is, I don't know how old they are, and maybe they were last put together in 2021, but since then they haven't been put together because they're too old and aren't breeding. I don't know. Not enough info. Angolans are pretty high on my list of want to get, but I think they're gorgeous. They're similar to ball pythons, but they're not identical. They have similar size, weight, temperature and humidity requirements. They are not the same species, just with a different paint job. And you can crossbreed, or at least that's my understanding. You make angry balls. Angolan, ball python, angry ball. I really like the pattern on these. I'm looking forward to seeing more in the way of morphs in these as we go down the road. But let's see if I can find a better picture here. One of the advantages they have over ball pythons is that they're supposedly better, more reliable feeders. So a lot of people will get a ball python, and any snake can go off food for a little while. Ball pythons are notorious for it. We have a snake in the other room that hasn't eaten since November, and we just keep offering, and just keep breeding and living, but not interested in food. And we've tried rats of various types and sizes, mice, ASFs. Next, I'm going to chicks. I'm going to get some quail. I can't do a baby bottle, but all right, hog-nosed snakes. Mainly, I look here just to kind of keep an eye on the market. We have 4 hog-nosed snakes right now, which I'll do a run through Husbandry Pro here in a little bit and show you. But all I'd be looking for are females. And one of the problems, like, you're probably not going to find adult females for sale on here that I would recommend buying. Mainly because if you're buying somebody else's adult female right now, while the market for hognose is pretty hot, you may be buying a mate eater, because hognose have been known to eat their mate. You may be buying an egg eater, because hognose have been known to eat their own eggs. You may be buying a failed breeder that just fails to produce. And so you could be spending quite a bit of money, as you can see from these prices, on a bigger gamble than raising up one. So we only have a couple females, and they're going to be 2 years before they're ready to breed. So we're going to be raising them for the next 2 years. And that's why I'm not in the market for more hognose right now. But, you know, I might, I would consider some rescue hogs. So corn snakes, I'm also interested in adult females. So we go adult and we go female, and there's only 20. So cool. We can do this in one quick run through of all 20 of them. So I'm just going to load all of them up in their own tabs. And we'll take a peek at all of them. Starting with this most expensive. This is scaleless. I like the look of them. I like the feel of them. We're not ready to get into scaleless breeding just yet. So we'll pass on that. And on that one, so this is just a stripe that is het caramel and het scaleless. It's an interesting female, really cool looking. I prefer my orange and peach corn snakes right now, so I'm looking for things that would go with them. So amelanistic and anarthristic. Yeah, that's a snow. I will, let me pull up Husbandry Pro and see if I have good pictures of my corn snakes right now. So Peaches and Steven. Peaches is an amelanistic stripe, and she has this gorgeous kind of peachish orange color. Yeah, amel stripe. And we're going to be breeding her to Steven, who is a hypo amel stripe. So he's the same two genes as what we think Peaches is, but also hypomelanistic. And so he's a much deeper orange. This picture doesn't really do him justice. And he's a dream to handle. Peaches is a ball of lightning that's constantly trying to fly. She'll come flying out of her enclosure when you open the door. And we're gonna redo her enclosure and make it bioactive, because we've got one of our corn snakes in a bioactive enclosure, and it's been working really well. Sarah said, you need one that just doesn't leave your neck like a freaking Pokemon strikes every time you say you're done. That would be funny. So here's another snow. And, here's a Tessera corn tear. So %50 corn, 50% gray banded king. That's interesting, but I'm not looking for hybrids. Diffused, het stripe, het amel, het charcoal. That's actually really good. A bit defensive inner closure, but docile once out. Little tail nip. So I don't care about the het charcoal, but het stripe, het amel, diffused means you'd end up getting amel stripes that are het hypo and het diffused. That's I already saved that. I didn't know I'd already saved it. I should start going through my saved list. All right. It's an amel anery green halo, het hypo, or het strawberry. Yeah, I don't know enough about any of those. So, anarthristic. It's the opposite of what I'm looking for. There's a amel creamsicle. So this just has the amelanistic trait. Not bad. And a tessera that's possible het anarthristic. That's so good. That is such a pretty red factor right there. Now you're closing in on a good potential breeder for Steven. I'm going to save. Nah, I'm not. Not right now. There's an Abbott Okiti or Okiti. Passing on that. Dilute, Anery, Caramel, Het Motley, possible Het Amel. Wild. That's the color of Summer Tennessee Morning. Nice. Miami Blood Red, Het Motley, nah. Caramel Diffused, nah. Not for me. But there is an Amel Motley Het Caramel. That's just charcoal. And this is a Het Sunkissed Ultra Caramel Lavender. So it's normal, but it's het for four things. How'd you prove that? I mean, you'd have to, both parents would have to have all four of those. So you're breeding quad recessives. All right. That's it for corn snakes. Under other colubrids, I always like to take a look at the garters. I always take a look at the house snakes. And I always take a look at dry marking. So we'll start with dry marking. The yellowtail, crebos, indigos. There's only 22 of them. And Mexican indigo. Yep. Nothing for today. House snakes, on the other hand, there's 43 of them. We're going to sort by lowest price first. And we're going to look for, females only. I really like this one. But it's a baby, which is why it's listed as well started. 2022. This is a captive bred proven black. So we'll check that out. T positive albino, T positive albino. $300 grams. What's mine weigh? So check a Sabrina. She's 98 grams. That was March 18th. I'm going to have to, one of the things we're going to do in the next week or two is more weighings. Garter snakes. California red. California red. And that's all I'm looking for is California reds right now. 17 grams, 22 grams. These are from the same breeder, probably the same clutch or litter. Need some bone broth to bulk those babies up. Not sure that's how that works, but good thinking. All right. Nothing else under other colubrids, which means now we're on to what I spend most of my time with, and that's ball pythons. And so instead of doing, we're just going to do the default search here. So here they are. All ball pythons listed on MorphMarket, which is 40,607. Holy moly. And probably for this, we're looking for female, adult. And that takes us from 40,000 down to 2,100. And we'll see what we come across. I'm just going to do them in order and just do like the first couple 3 pages. Normally, I put in a few other things that I'm actually looking for. So pinstripe leopard pied. Actually, I like the bigger pictures. Weirdly, here's a normal breeder-ready female, $500. That seems a little high for me, but sterling, banana, possible at clown. So sterling is going to be super pastel cinnamon. Yeah, super pastel cinnamon banana. So sterling banana. Super pastel cinnamon is sterling. And possible head clown. Super pastel vanillas, normals, super stripe. So that's going to be yellow belly spectre. Yep. Going out of business sale. She's ovulated and is bull wrapping and laying belly up on heat. She's been paired the last 6 months. Every 21 days with our Barnhart Black Pastel Calico ODYB Proven Breeder Boy. I'm happy to get update weights. But this is a new seller that is going out of business. So this is somebody who wasn't on MorphMarket, evidently, in Virginia. Well, I'm joining February 22. Hey, Matt, can't stay long, but happy to listen on my break. Awesome. Hey, Rose. So they have 38 ball pythons listed. So since they're doing a going out of business, let's go look, because I get some of my best deals from people who are going out of business. So let me sort by lowest price. Wow. So the $500 normals, is this because they've been bred? She's most likely gravid, should be ovulating soon. She's paired the last 3 months with our pastel banana boy. Yeah, you're trying to sell off maybe pregnant. And then you got a whole bunch here that have no price. Or, no, no pictures, but they're no longer sorted by lowest price. So I don't understand. So here's an orange stream for $100. No description. Please inquire. No picture. No offense to this breeder, but I don't like their prices on stuff, but I get it. They got possibly pregnant females. It could be worth a bunch or worth some. But I think instead of having 38 pythons listed where there's weird, maybe this is like their entire collection and some of these aren't for sale. I don't know. But black pastel, orange dream, yellow belly calico, weight 1,200. There's a boy that gave us 3 clutches last year. He's in the Barnhart line. I just, no offense to them. Get whatever you can get out of it. I think going out of business and having really high prices, probably not the best signal. So here's a proven breeder, fire female. Now, I'd love to get her. I'd rather get a Disco Inferno or Disco Fire because I have a super vanilla boy. And pairing him up, I'd love to get a Fire Disco. That'd be great. That's a good price. 0 information. 1 overall rating score. 9 ball pythons listed. What do we got? There's 3 females. Orange Stream GHI, the Proven Breeder Fire, and a baby pastel banana. That's it. The OD-GHI is 186 grams. Oh, she's really pretty. Love what GHI does to the pattern. This is possible yellow belly. I do not see anything that would make me think this is yellow belly. Not claiming to be an expert, not saying anybody's wrong. Glad they're listed as a possible. Those snakes are fishy. I don't know what you mean. In any case, the Proven Breeder Fighter for $100. Pretty cool. Let's see. Inchy Lucifer, Pastel Coral Glow, Cinnamon Yellow Belly, Cinnamon Pastel Yellow Belly Spider, ODYB Pied, $17.50. I have a beautiful snake downstairs I should go get and show you guys. We did it should be up on the channel, right? I haven't looked to make sure that that video is up on the channel, but we did an unboxing of yeah, so the one that says setting up 4 new snakes, that we streamed 11 days ago. That's the one that's got the 4 new snakes. So I don't have to run down and get it right now. That's good. All right, continuing on. Now, the Snake Limited, I've actually seen this guy's YouTube videos. And so a proven, ready-to-breed pied girl for $1,000, that's not outrageous, but big girl that laid a 4-egg clutch in 2021, ready to breed. So, yeah, if you were wanting a ready-to-breed pied, nothing bad about any of those. He's got a leopard pied. He got a pastel pied. I don't know why I'd pay for a ready-to-breed pied $1,000 and then pass up the pastel pieds for $1,000. Pastel leopard pied for $1,500. I mean, I think that's a bit high, but you know, you buy what you like. Pewter Mojave female, leopard OD, candy leopard, clown blade fire. Yeah. All right. So we keep going. Micro scale coral glow. I'm not getting into the scale stuff right now. Coral glow breeder. Anything? Albino pinstripe breeder. $800. Literally have a snake that looks identical to this. Same genes. She's really pretty. And this one, it's a good picture because it shows how albino, so pinstripe kind of narrows up the pattern and leaves it with these pinstriping lines on it. But also you get a brighter yellow highlight just below the dorsal there. As a matter of fact, my albino pinstripe is alpine right there. And so here's the photo of alpine, our albino pinstripe. And I don't know if it shows up on stream, but you can see that like where this is a more creamy peachish color, right in here is brighter yellow. So anywhere where the darker pinstripe lines would be are just yellow. So there's the one they've got for sale. This is the one I've got here at home. I can tell you that mine is also a breeder-ready female, and I did not pay anywhere near $800 for her. I'm not saying you shouldn't. This is from Royal Constrictor Designs. I know his content. Great-looking snake, and it's going to be quality. There's another albino pinstripe breeder. Interesting that you can see the slight difference in coloration. This one shows off the lighter peach with the yellow even better than the other one did. So good stuff. All right, what else have we got? Pastel GHI Mystic, GHI Lesser. Adult Fire Mystic Clown. Yellow Belly, Pastel Pied. Is that just an incredibly low white pied? Special Spider, Head Albino. Gravel Pastel. That's interesting because I've got a potential yellow belly male, and getting gravel would be good. This big, healthy girl, 2,400 grams. Yeah, that's nice. I didn't breed her this year. Proved to be gravel by breeding with a yellow belly clown. You can find her babies on my MorphMarkets too. Yeah, that would be. Oh, I already have it saved. Damn. So I'm seeing snakes that I've already saved. And I'm doing them in the default source search order. Oh, I know what happens. People can refresh their listing. And so if we pull this snake up, it was probably originally posted. Yeah, it was originally posted back in December, and they just renewed it on 4/20. So that's something I'd like to see is newest listed, but not relisted. Yeah, I really wish I could change that. I will message the MorphMarket people to ask for a feature because I care about the first posted date, not the last renewed or updated. And it sorts by default by the latest date. and I only want the first posted date. And they don't have a way to search for that. That really, I mean, that sucks up my time, because having gone through all the eligible adult females already in the past, champagne, fire, possible, het pie. There we go. I'm not a fan of the ones with mostly white with blobs of color. Don't hate them or anything. I just prefer the more patterned look. Cool. So you're not a fan of the piebald. Ready to breed lesser. All right. Well, if that's going to be the case, then let's do adult females, and we're going to do, let's check for disco. $2,000 disco het hypo, $500 shipped. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Cinnamon disco inferno. There we go. It's disco fire. Inchy disco. Disco spot nose. What is disco? I've not heard that before. Well, so let me sort this by lowest price. And actually, if we go to index, come over here to disco. Where is it? There we go. So we're going to learn more about disco. It is in the black-eyed leucistic complex, along with, let me see how many I can remember before I look it up. Disco, fire, flame, vanilla, disco, fire, flame, vanilla. There's two more. Maybe. Disco, fire, flame, vanilla, sulfur, lemonback, and creed. There were three more. So, disco is an incomplete dominant trait. That's what a basic disco looks like. But it's part of the black-eyed leucistic complex. And this complex is one where if you breed like a super fire, ends up being a white snake with black eyes. But because they're allelic, if you combine, I have a super vanilla in the other room. For example, this is just what a vanilla looks like. A super vanilla produces a much more aberrant pattern. Yeah. Let me switch to this, and I will grab the super vanilla and show you what a super vanilla looks like. Dead air in a live stream, always good. All right. So this is a super vanilla Orange Dream Yellow Belly. But let me get back to the default one where you guys can see them better. You're not really able to see the Orange Dream or the Yellow Belly very clearly, especially with this camera. So mostly what you're seeing is what Super Orange Dream does to the pattern, or sorry, Super Vanilla does to the pattern. And you can see it's a little washed out on this camera. Thinking that light might be a bit bright. But yeah, this is Al. And I named him Al because I'm specifically looking to make allelic combinations from this black-eyed leucistic thing. So because he's super vanilla, every single offspring of his will have vanilla as one of its traits, which means if I pair him up with a disco fire, then we'll have vanilla discos and vanilla fires. And you can look all those up. But yeah, this is Al. I need to get a weight on him. But yeah, he's beautiful. Super vanilla, Orange Dream, Yellow Belly. And I'd have to pull up some pictures of some of the other ones to kind of compare it to. But I really like him. And he needs 4 girlfriends is what he needs. And so finding snakes that are in the black-eyed leucistic complex. So let me pull this up. We don't need vanilla, but we can do flame, disco, fire, sulfur, lemonback, and creed. We can see what we can find. There are no single gene images yet. So this is a super pastel creed. All right. Let's see what we've got. Here, you just stay right here with me, buddy. Oh, you guys can't even see this out because I went back to that. So let me go back to the browser. Forest Mormon. No. Basically, all of our snakes are in breeding groups with 1 male and up to about 4 females. It's possible that we could do 5, 6, or 7 females, but now that we've got an ultrasound, we can check to see what everybody's follicle state is. And so that will allow us to put more females with a male. But yeah, that's the plan. Having some backup males is always good. But right now, I'll go through my breeding list a little later if people want to see it. But I've only got about 15 minutes left in my live stream because then my wife's going live with her show, or my partner. Anyway, this is Al. Say hi. Say bye, Al. Let me go put him back up, and we'll finish up with MorphMarket. All right. Wife, is that new? We've been together for a couple of years. We're not married, but it's essentially the same thing. Wife, partner, whatever. We're not overly concerned with what people call it, but we've been living together for years, have business together. So anyway, let me see if I can find Creed. in the ball python ones. All right. There are only 7 creeds listed on all of MorphMarket. Wow, that snake might be a purchase right there. Oh, that's $900. What? Okay, I thought it was $350 because I was like, hang on, that's a pastel creed hypo. That's het lavender. I'm going to mark that as a possible get. So yeah, creed is one. Pastel creed pied, vanilla pastel creed, which actually looks a lot like a super vanilla. Not completely, but enough. Oh, and these aren't all females. So let's do this. There we go. All right, so not much in the way of creed. So now we're going to check Lemonback. Okay, inchy lesser Lemonback. Pastel Lemonback gravel. I want. That's great. I think I have to buy that snake. Let me show you why. Go in here and I'm going to click the calculator. And so pair number 1 is going to be Al. And Al is a super vanilla, orange dream, yellow belly. And this snake is a pastel Lemonback gravel. And what you end up getting that doesn't do me any good. So you can get highways out of this, but you can also get the allelic. So here's a highway vanilla, maybe? Highway vanilla, possible pastel. Now there's more out of this because everything's going to be vanilla. And so Lemonback vanilla is the one I'm kind of interested in to see what this allelic is. This is a Lemonback vanilla. Oh, with black pastel. So can't quite tell on that. Inchy lemon cream. Yeah, there we go. That's Lemonback vanilla. Wow. I think I have to buy that snake as a start of addiction. You do realize I have 56 snakes and breed these things, and that's the whole reason I'm here doing this. If there's an addiction, it didn't start with that. Like, here's a list of all the current snakes in our collection. Mostly ball pythons, but 4 corn snakes, 3 African house snakes, 4 hognose snakes, 2 womas. All right. All right. So I was showing Arden some of the options. I put in a request for info about this pastel lemonback. Breeder girl, Intralessi lemonback. Not that worried about that. All right. So we've done Creed and we've done lemonback. The next one's going to be sulfur. And pastel sulfur, sulfur spider, Mojave sulfur. Be real, you ain't selling a one. You love them and won't let them go. It's okay. We all understand. No, we're selling. I already have some for sale. Sulfur, bamboo belly. I'm looking to see what else we can get that is sulfur pastel. All right, doesn't look like there's anything. Hey, what the back? How you doing? Doesn't look like there's anything with sulfur, so it's going to be disco. There's a disco yellow belly girl right there. I'd rather it be gravel because I don't think super yellow belly is right, but Guaranteed disco. Disco, yellow belly, disco. Boom, boom, boom. It says disco vanilla, and I don't. Disco Spot Nose. I probably already have that one. I do have that one saved. I want to get Spot Nose in. Yeah, that's one of the potential pairs for Al. That's really good. Disco Fire. Do I have that one saved? No. She's only 111 grams. It's too small. Why are we seeing something that's not adult? There we go. Cinnamon Disco Inferno. Really nice. All right. So in that case, we'll do Fire and Flame. I'll start with Flame. Flame, possible yellow belly. Flame, yellow belly, proven. Is there very rare colors? Yeah, there's some colors you don't even see at all in ball pythons, like blues. You can get close with some lavenders, but you don't really have blues and greens. So, for example, here's a super fire, which means it has 2 copies of the fire gene. And so this is why it gets called the black-eyed leucistic complex, because this is basically a white snake with black eyes. There's also a blue-eyed leucistic complex as well. Whoops. And wouldn't you know it, I need to fire champagne fire possible. Okay. So there's other genes that you can put with fire. And because we're doing super vanilla with fire, we'd get vanilla fire. And so if you want to take a look at what vanilla fire looks like, that's a vanilla scream, which is vanilla pastel fire. And that's a breeder. Here's another vanilla scream breeder, vanilla pastel fire. There's a leopard vanilla cream. Yeah, I don't see any that are just, maybe if I take off maturity, we can see. Yeah, so vanilla cream is vanilla fire. Vanilla scream is vanilla pastel fire. I'm pretty sure. Go back here, go to the index, show combos, go down here. Vanilla cream is vanilla fire. Vanilla scream is pastel vanilla fire. Vanilla blast is pastel vanilla pinstripe. But sweet. So fire, flame. So fire is about the only one that's potentially left. All right. So that ends the shopping stuff that I wanted to do on stream. I'll do more live streams. I'm going to go through snake genetic stuff, and I'm doing some. You can watch me do some boring work in Husbandry Pro, where I go through. As a matter of fact, let's check this. I want to make sure that all the new snakes actually have pictures. And so we go photos, and then let's go backwards. Yeah, Demi doesn't have a photo. Elle doesn't have a photo. Clarabelle doesn't have a photo. And Taylor doesn't have a photo. But everything before that should have photos. There's Ronald, there's Al, and the Womas. Okay, yeah, I got some pictures to take. I got some snakes to weigh. And Sarah said we illegally kept venomous snakes at scout camp to show the kids. They were always released at the end of summer and under the eyes of masterful. Moral dilemma? Yeah. Yeah, it's still a moral dilemma. Just because something is illegal doesn't mean it's immoral, but it may well have been immoral. I'd have to know a lot more information to figure out what I think about it. And right now, doesn't matter. I'm going to go get some snake work done instead of just shopping. And thanks, everybody, for hanging out. You got to get a feel for how I go through Craigslist and MorphMarket most days. And I'll do more on snake genetics and Husbandry Pro at a later date. See you all later.